10 years of auditing in over 25 countries, I've seen companies fail social audits for the same reasons again and again and again, and none of them have anything to do with the product. Factories don't fail social audits because they make bad products. They fail because there are big gaps in at least one of these three core levels. Most audit failures fall into three levels: missing, informal, ineffective. I'm Hendrik Mosel. I've spent the last 10 years conducting social audits across more than 25 countries, and one area where these gaps show up consistently is grievance systems, complaint mechanisms. Level 1, missing system. You walk into a facility and ask, what's your grievance mechanism like? And they don't have one. Not because they're hiding it, but because they genuinely didn't know it was required. They didn't fully review the client's code of conduct. They didn't go through the audit requirements in detail. And very often, especially in smaller companies, you hear this: we have an open door policy. Workers can always speak to their supervisor or the CEO. And that may be true, but that's not a grievance mechanism under most clients' requirements, because that's where it ends. No complaint box, no hotline, no anonymous channel, no defined process. From an audit perspective, this is a fundamental gap, because social compliance standards require a structured and safe way for workers to raise concerns. An open door policy alone doesn't provide that. It depends on hierarchy, relationships, and trust. And in many cases, that's exactly what prevents issues from being raised. Missing system means missing visibility. If you're preparing for an audit, this is one of the first things you would want to check. Part 2, informal system. The system exists, but only verbally. You ask about the grievance mechanism again, and management says, yes, of course. Workers can always talk to the supervisors. There's a complaint box somewhere in the cellar or close to the canteen, and we do have a hotline. I can tell you the number. I don't know if it's written anywhere, but we do have someone you can contact. Definitely. No, there's no document for that. We don't have a procedure per se, but everyone knows how we do it here. I mean, it's clear. It's common knowledge here. And again, that may be true, but there's no documented policy, no defined process, no procedure in writing, no clarity on confidentiality and escalation steps. From an audit perspective, that's not enough, because without documentation, there's no consistency, no accountability, no verifiable process. Depends entirely on individuals, and that creates a risk, especially in larger and more complex operations. If it's not documented, it's not enough. We help companies move from informal to audit-ready systems. Contact us now. Level 3, ineffective system. This is the most deceptive level, because on paper, everything is there. The policy is written, the procedure is defined, the posters are on the wall. Everything looks good, looks compliant. Then you speak to workers privately, and you ask, if something was wrong, do you know how to report it safely? Is there an anonymous way to report it? Confidential way? What does the system look like here if you want to raise a complaint? And very often, the workers, they don't know, or they don't trust the system because it was never properly communicated or never really used in practice. So the system exists, but it doesn't function. Implementation is ineffective, and that's a finding. Follow for real audit insights. This is one of the most common failures. Across all three levels, the issue is the same. It's not about having a policy, it's about whether workers can actually use it. If grievance systems don't work, issues don't get raised internally. They build up, and eventually they surface externally. Complaints, clients, or investigations. And at that point, you've lost control. If you're preparing for a social audit, don't just ask, do we have a policy? Ask, is it there? Is it documented? Is it valid? And does it actually work in practice? That's exactly what we help companies assess and improve. And on this channel, I'll help breaking down where audits actually fail and why.